We welcome you back inside Desert Financial Arena. Sun Devil Extras. We're joined by our first guest of the athletic school year, so quite the honor. JJ Van Niel, the volleyball head coach here at ASU, joins us, entering his third year at the helm. And boy, what a great start to the tenure it's been. Coach, the last time we talked to you was right after the extension was signed to keep you here in Tempe until 2029. So how have you been? How was your summer?
Busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer for volleyball coaches isn't really summer. It's,
no
it's
vacation.
Recruiting. It's you do a lot of recruiting during that time, and then of course you get your prep for your season. But it was good. It was a good summer.
In terms of this group, plenty of new faces. You had to attack the portal and bring in some talented freshmen as well. How's this new group looking before we get the season going?
It's good. This is it's been a fun challenge for my staff and I. As most people probably know, 100% of our starting lineup graduated, which I've never experienced in my years of college volleyball. So I think it's a fun new challenge, figuring out the right systems for the kids, and then watching some people really flourish and step up. So it's been really fun.
You just mentioned that challenge, and it is a staff-wide challenge. You can't, it's not just this guy, although he is phenomenal. In terms of recruiting, you look at, I think of Moneyball, right? When the roster is bare and you got to try to find a roster. Luckily, you guys have a nice reputation now of being a winning program over the last 2 years. But in terms of trying to assemble a roster, take fans behind closed doors. What was that process like?
You're kind of looking at depth charts and figuring out places that you've got to bolster your roster. We knew we had to probably bring in a couple outside hitters, which we were able to do. We wanted to bring in one more opposite, and we needed some depth at the libero position, and then we had to get one more setter because Brim was the only one on our roster. So, you just kind of set your priorities and go out and start talking to people. And I feel like we did a pretty good job getting some kids that, for us, part of that process is just the culture, and are they going to fit into what we do here and what we're passionate about. And I think we found a really good group. It's a really fun group to be around.
In terms of recruiting and coming off of a Big 12 championship and even the success in year one back in Pac-12, have you noticed a difference in terms of when you're recruiting now, just having that hardware, I guess, to back you up, try to bolster things up?
We're definitely in conversations that my first year here we were not in. The first year, a lot of people don't know it, but when I walked in the door, we only had 9 kids on the roster. Half the team had left, and that year was very difficult in the portal. We were very fortunate. We got Mary Schroll. We were able to finally get Shania. It took a while, but we got Shania. And obviously she ended up helping us a lot last year, maybe not as much the first year. Estella came over, but it was a challenge. A lot of people didn't return calls, and now we're getting more kids that'll at least return a phone call.
Part of building a program, of course, is winning in being on a national stage, and that winning will breed a national stage into the next year, and that's exactly how you guys are starting this season, taking on Penn State and Pitt. A couple of blue bloods in the sport, but you're going to be on national TV in both of those on Fox and FS1. I know that's a really exciting thing. Graham and I were just talking about in his first segment, but to kick off against the best of the best, it's like when you played Nebraska last year in non-con, and I know you kind of circled back to that as the year went on. It's kind of a point to see where you guys were at. Obviously, very early in the year, might be a little bit different with so many new faces, but still a really exciting opportunity, I'd imagine.
Yeah, we're excited. When that opportunity came up, it was pretty much a no-brainer. I knew we were going to have a new team. I knew it might be a little ugly because it's the first matches out of the gate. We're going to play UNI first, which would be nice. We get a little bit under our belt, but I think it's really good to be on national TV, and honestly, it just shows where we've been able to bring our program because 2 years ago, I definitely was not getting the invite to that tournament. Fox called me right away, and we were really excited to make it work.
In terms of the growth of this program, there's been buzz in this building, especially last year. Like reading an article that dropped a couple of days ago on SunDevils.com, specifically was talking about the U of A match last year when it was close late. And look at the smile, right? The smile that pops up on your face, and I think everyone on the team last year, coaching staff as well, it was magical. And I know there are some ambitious goals for attendance, trying to average 5,000 per match this year, but they seem attainable as well. Want to be towards the top of the country in attendance. How important is that? I mean, it seems obvious, but to have that fan base behind you.
Yeah, I mean, that's been a message that I've had since day one when I took took this opportunity. You know, we're in Tempe. It's an awesome town to be in. It's like a college town, but you're still in Phoenix, fifth largest city in the country. There's tons of things to do. So from a recruiting standpoint, it's great when kids come out here. I mean, Noemi was a great example. I mean, when I first tried to talk to Noemi, it was like, I have no interest in going to Tempe. I hate it there. And we're like, well, you've never really been here, aside from playing.
Sure.
And then she was here, and it was like, done deal. You know, we took her out, and she kind of saw what we had to offer. But going into that, we've got this great city where I feel like there's a lot of good youth volleyball here. There's a huge student population, and we feel like if we can invest in marketing and put up a good product, which we've had a really fun product last couple of years, then, you know, the rest will happen, you know. And I think the first 2 years we broke a ton of records, attendance-wise, revenue-wise, everything. And so that's what we're going to continue to push. And, you know, I've been really fortunate. Graham, you know, he's been all in on volleyball, and we have someone in marketing who's killing it. Jason has put together a really nice plan for this year. I think last year when he kind of came over and it was like right when our season started, and he tried to, you know, get it going as fast as possible. But this year, back in, you know, the spring, we were talking about our plans. So I'm really excited to see how we do this year with attendance.
I think this sport, more than any other, maybe is prepared to be popular in this day and age where things need to be now. You want action all the time.
Yep.
There isn't a better sport than volleyball of that. And if you haven't been out to a match before, they are wildly entertaining. Of course, winning helps, yes. but regardless, I mean, it's great entertainment. You're in and out of here in a couple of hours most of the time. And so certainly it is a lot of fun to watch. Top 15 in attendance last year. Looking for more this year.
Absolutely. And I feel like we've got the momentum. We're investing in marketing. I know our players are talking to everyone about it. And, you know, for anyone who's watching or listening, come to a game. And I've yet to have someone that had never been to a game that saw it and they're like, oh my gosh, this is really, really fun.
Yeah.
It's nonstop action, and, you know, we put a good product out there, so it's fun.
Ella Lamigora is someone we're going to be talking to in a moment, and in terms of Arizona talent coming home, there's a lot of Arizona kids on this roster, and you just alluded to it, it's a volleyball-rich state.
Yep.
In terms of having someone like Ella, but really just local kids in general, whether they're out of high school or coming back home through the portal, seems like that's something you guys are really trying to focus on. How big is that in terms of continuing to build the foundation of this program?
Yeah, I mean, I love it when our Arizona kids are announced. I mean, you hear it as soon as they're announced, the crowd, it's a little higher decibel. I mean, Mary Schroll last year was the loudest one people cheered for. You know, she's a local Arizona that was highly decorated. And I remember when we signed her, I think I got more texts when we signed Mary Schroll than when I got this head job, which maybe says more about me. But it was pretty cool to see. And I think this community is very passionate about the hometown. So when you get those kids, you know, I mean, even at our our maroon and gold, when Ella's name was announced, I mean, the crowd was going crazy. But, you know, Ella and Piper and Bailey, I mean, we have kids coming, and we'll always try to bring those kids home, you know, and so it's fun. It's fun.
Northern Iowa, Pitt, Penn State on the road. They'll be home September 5th against FGCU to get the home non-conference schedule going. You ready to go? You wish you had more practice days, or were you ready to go?
Of course, yeah. We've had a couple of injuries, but, you know, we're ready to go.
I think if I ask Ella, she's ready to go.
I'm sure.
Coaches always want more practice days, but that makes a lot of sense. Coach, congratulations on the success of the first 2 years. Good luck into year 3, and hopefully we'll get you back on the show to talk about it as the year goes on.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
We'll be back to chat with Ella and the Sun Devil Volleyball team when we return.